Welcome to my celebration of learning. Within the 5 blocks, I have learned so much on how to be a teacher who is invested in her students, supports the well-being of each individual, and who creates a space for each child to feel safe, accepted, and capable of achieving their goals. What significant learnings have you drawn across the 5 blocks? Within block 1, one of my key learnings was coming to know myself in the perspective as a teacher. Block 1 gave me the knowledge to identify what my personal philosophy is as a future educator, and my goal as an educator is to create unique learning experiences that differentiates to each child's needs, allows for authentic assessment practices to emerge throughout the activities, and create a safe and welcoming environment to allow for the best learning possible. My pedagogy stemmed from teaching the whole being in terms of creating social, emotional, and physical wellness. Block 2 gave me the confidence and experience to be an educator of the whole being. This block has given me a new perspective on my students and their emotions and behaviors. Self-regulation was a key takeaway for me in this block. It allowed me to gain a better understanding of how each emotion and behavior has a meaning, and that bad behaviors do not make bad children. Within Dr. Shanker's self-regulation, he explains, the instant you recognize when a child's troubling behaviors are caused by too much stress, your whole relationship is transformed. It is important to understand if a child's misbehavior is coming from a place of stress. A teacher should then make it their priority to introduce self-regulation into that child's life. This method works to first nurture their emotions before further developing on their intellects. Within Block 3, my key takeaway was learning more about how to better involve guardians in their children's education. In particular, my focus was on non-English speaking guardians. As I had the opportunity to take a class with Scott Douglas, I learned an immense amount of knowledge on how to give English language learners the best education possible. I have learned that as educators we can create an environment where both learners and caretakers feel supported and respected by making their role evident in their child's education. I have learned that looking to parents for valuable information will help to better support their children. During my time in Block 4, I learned an immense amount of information about educating children in STEAM. This block has given me the confidence I needed to teach the subjects that I am less familiar in. I have come to understand new and engaging ways to allow children to demonstrate to me their learnings through creation, collaboration, and innovation. Examples of these new and engaging ways for students to demonstrate their learning can happen through creating a design challenge with their classmates, or exploring and experimenting through scientific demonstrations. Each of these examples give the students a hands-on experience where they can learn at their own pace and collaborate with their classmates. Throughout my time in Block 5, I have become more aware about the importance of caring for my well-being to better enable me to care for my students' well-being. Block 5 has given me the means to incorporate calming breaks that bring a child's high energy, high tension down, or breaks that allow for the children to come out of their low energy or low tension state. This will allow them to get their best possible state for learning. What noteworthy learnings have you drawn from your field experiences? Within my first field experience at Oyama Traditional Elementary School, I have learnt an immense amount of knowledge through my mentor teacher on how to be a student-centered educator whom offers multiple opportunities for children to learn. My mentor teacher allowed me to take over classroom responsibilities, guide every lesson I felt comfortable doing, and collaborate and offer my own ideas to lesson plans and activities that would engage each student and allow for differentiation. This practicum allowed me to view teaching and my students in a different perspective in terms of behaviors. I felt as if Block 2 had allowed me to gain a better understanding of each individual child and how they come to school with their own stories, emotions, and feelings. Understanding this gave me the ability to guide each child in working towards regulating their emotions and behaviors to allow them to get their best learning possible. During my community field experience, I had the opportunity of working at the YMCA. This community has given me an abundance of knowledge that I will be able to bring into my classroom one day. In the preschool, I was able to gain a better understanding of children before they enter the school system, how to prepare them to enter the school system, and what they are exposed to academically, socially, and emotionally. Active arts gave me the confidence I needed to guide an art class while still allowing each child to display their creativity. I was also fortunate enough to plan a 12-week summer camp. This curriculum building has given me the skills I will need in my future as a teacher when creating lesson plans and lesson sequences. Within each of these programs, I noticed the strong presence of community, and this allowed each of the children under our care to feel safe, accepted, and competent. To me, having an inquiry lens means promoting constant questions, being curious while also portraying this curiosity onto your students, and coming into each space with an open mind. I believe that engaging with the children by using an inquiry-based model, which prioritizes the students' wonders and ideas and builds off them to create an environment for learning, is the most beneficial way to teach. Listening to each of the students' desires for learning and incorporating mini lessons and provocation tables and discussions on the topics that the children show interest towards will allow the students to be engaged in their education and interested in the topics that are being presented. Becoming more familiar with inquiry in the classroom has been beneficial to me, as I now have the knowledge to encourage the children to be questioning continuously and curious about the world around them. As you think about your emerging scholar practitioner identity, describe the teacher that you hope your students and colleagues will see during your internship. My time in the education program has enabled me to enhance my understanding of what it means to be an educator. I have had time to grasp my goals, what my values are, and my personal philosophy of what it means to educate. There is more than one way to acquire knowledge, and each of these unique individuals must feel safe enough to create a voice of their own. I believe that there is no wrong way to learn, and though it may take patience, each method of learning should be explored. I believe that it is necessary to stay true to who you are, reach out and collaborate with the community, and be aware of how our methods might affect our students. My dream is to recognize and embrace the unique histories each student brings to the classroom to create a space for them to be vulnerable, engaged, and to feel safe. I hope to be a mentor that can help students to grow up with the ability to think for themselves and be critical of the world around them as happy humans and whole individuals.